I'm Caleb.
I'm Haley.
And I'm having
Coffee with my ex.
Haley made my latte this morning, and I think it's obviously not you making the espresso incorrectly. I think it's just you put less milk in it than I do.
Yeah, I do. Well, also, you're almost out of milk, so I was trying to ration it out.
And you didn't put much of the syrup in there, my little stevia syrup.
No, because it's so strong.
It's not. I can't taste any sweetener in this.
Are you serious?
Not at all. Yeah, but no, it's fine.
I coated the bottom.
Uh-huh. Let me blow some bubbles.
I don't like overly sweet coffee.
That is apparent.
I'm also should have made myself something because...
Yeah, but you're bad out. That's okay. I'll probably take a break to sweeten this up a bit. I need something sweet.
I need something sweet.
I just had to chase my coffee with my water.
That's insane. You should taste my coffee.
No, thank you.
There's no sweetener
Before
in here.
you were like, I don't think you're going to like my latte. And I was like, what are you talking about? I love your latte.
Now I know now.
Yeah.
So I'll keep that in mind.
I'm like a 1 packet per shot gal.
That's crazy. That's insane to me.
2 packets of stevia in a double shot.
I don't put any sweetener in and stevia is sweeter than sugar.
And this is coming from the girl who used to, I swear you not,
People
put
change.
14 sweet and lows in her venti iced
People
coffee.
change. People grow. And
14.
some people don't. And that some people is you.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You used to get like a hazelnut iced coffee.
Or vanilla or caramel.
So you got it sweetened and then you put 14 sweet and lows in
I would
it.
put 6 in a venti, which is too much. 6 too many.
My brain's hurting thinking about that.
And this was in high school. I'd be cracked out.
You had a purse full of sweet and low.
Yes.
And a car
I would steal
full
them
of
from
Sweet and Low.
restaurants. Yes. Just sugar in the back on the bottom of my bags.
It was, I can taste.
Yeah, no, I can, and that's why I cannot stand the taste of any artificial sweetener.
Stevia doesn't taste artificial to me.
It does, it tastes like chemicals to me.
But it's not, it's a plant.
No, I don't
It's like Charlotte.
it. You know that I got, Splenda offered me, a nice chunk of change. And I had to say no, because everyone would know I'd be faking that shit.
Yeah. I remember when Splenda first came out, and everyone was
Well,
obviously
there's
freaking out
Splenda
about it.
stevia. Yeah.
Dear Splenda, if you are watching this episode, I want you to know that I will happily accept your partnership.
I was like, I cannot do this and be in good faith.
You gotta learn to like stevia.
I just don't like it. I prefer either no sweetener or something like honey or agave.
You know what? I used to trash you for the honey, but after getting I got some raw honey from Trader Joe's, and honey is not just sugar, it has a unique flavor.
Yeah.
And it's so good.
It's so good. That's what I put I'll put it at the bottom of my, whatever I'm making my espresso in, and then the espresso will go over the honey and it'll kind of mix up the honey. And that's the only sweetener that I use.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
And then sometimes I put a little cinnamon on top, so it's a honey cinnamon latte.
Wow, you do so much for yourself.
I really do.
It's amazing. Your
I really do.
level of self-care and presentation. It never ceases to baffle me. We made chicken tendies last night.
You want to know what I had last night?
What?
Jalapeno pineapple pork chops with honey rice. It was for a brand deal, but it was delicious.
And I'm assuming it was made from scratch. It's not like it was from a box.
Right,
or
now I
anything.
made it, and it was so good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I have a whole other serving we're to eat today. I'm very excited. Anyways, you made chicken tendies.
Oh, yeah, and I was just I threw it on the plate. But sometimes I try to organize them side by side, or I'll try to mix my sauces so it's a cute little swirl.
Yeah.
And then that's the extent of my effort.
Yeah.
I do not know how you do it. Last night we had buffalo cauliflower from Costco, and it had paleo, keto on the thing, and so we were really excited. Turns out it was just cauliflower with a sauce packet. And I'm of course it's keto and paleo. You got me. And it wasn't good. It wasn't good.
It's just a vegetable with
Just
sauce
a
on it.
vegetable. But bitches see the word paleo, and keto, and they're like, oh my God, I am bitches.
You are bitches. Oh my God.
My gosh.
What's up?
Well, I had a great therapy session yesterday.
Yeah.
And so I'm really excited to, because I texted you about a topic to talk about.
Yeah, we're not talking about that today, though, right?
No. But it is one of the questions that I picked.
I feel like you unpack all of your therapy on this podcast.
I do. This is my place to just spew it because Cameron doesn't care unless it's about him.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
And you don't care, but you have to listen if I'm talking to you here.
Wait, is this where I need to come for my important issues?
I think so.
Anytime I have a problem with you or need you to text me back.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the only place you'll get me to listen. I don't know if I'll respond, but I'll still listen.
Yeah, but you'll be listening.
But no, I had a great therapy session, and I got to unpack some issues and some problems. I feel like sometimes in therapy, I just talk, and I'm just saying things, and I don't know why I'm saying it. I just feel like I need to talk. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it leads to good things, and so I feel empowered now to talk about. More adult topics or adult issues and not censor myself so much because I have realized that I've just lived my entire life trying to make sure I don't offend people that think I should act a certain way or talk a certain way. And like, I'm a 27-year-old man.
Welcome to the life of being a woman.
It's just like, I can't imagine. And that's what I want to talk about on that episode too. And just all the standards in place. And it's just like, you know what? This podcast is not for everybody. And that's okay.
I've been saying that.
It's okay. It's just like, obviously with the fitness marshal, I like to keep that mass. Obviously, mass appealing is good for business.
Right.
But there's a difference between being mass appealing and just being like hyper aware of everything you do. Like, relax. If some person doesn't want to see certain things, then don't watch it.
Right. And that's something that I think as I've gotten older, I've understood more. And I even thought about this the other day because I got the craziest comment on this podcast. And and I was like, you know what? I don't like everybody. I can't expect everybody to like me. Mm-hmm. And that's just what it is. And so just like letting that go of like, I mean, how can I expect everyone to like me when I don't like most people?
Right. It's very freeing.
Yeah.
Just to release yourself from the grips of those claws and stop trying to please everybody. And my therapist was like, you're sacrificing your creativity. Yeah. Because like when you're wasting space thinking about like, oh, like, is this risque? Should I not say this? He's like, you're just not being yourself and you're not being creative. Like if people don't like it, they don't listen and that's okay. But like at the end of the day, you can't have it all. And so living your life trying to have it all and make everyone happy is just going to stop you from doing whatever you want to do or like being happy. So anyway, I'm excited for the next episode or whatever episode it is. We're gonna talk about some sexy things.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna need a drink.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
So anyway, today Haley put in our story, our Coffee with My Ex story on Instagram. If you don't follow it.
At Coffee with My Ex, get us a 10K.
Yay! We need to swipe up. So you asked, what are some things that you are dying for us to talk about? Yeah. And you all answered.
I had Caleb pick out the questions because I feel like I always pick out the questions and I feel like he'll pick out different ones than me. So just wanted to switch it up.
From Hannah Webb X asks us to talk about toxic relationships with food and exercise.
Oh, yeah. How about you talk about that?
You think I'm so toxic.
Yeah. I mean, you're not toxic. You just I feel like you spend more energy.
I do spend a lot of energy on it. I do. But I've also, I have always had I feel like disordered eating.
I get that. I have too. But I feel like I had to, through that, it's either that or just not caring as much. Mm-hmm. And I choose not caring as much. I mean, I still care, but obviously, working out is my job, and I love food, and I love feeling good. But I think that it's either or for me. It's either I'm all the way over here, or I'm all the way over here. But I feel like I finally found that, balance, and I don't want to lean, too much one way. Mm-hmm. And so I have to be mindful of how much energy I'm giving that part of my life.
Mm-hmm. I get that. I feel like for me, food has always been something that I've struggled with ever since I was I mean, younger, I had to go to like a dietitian when I was 16 because I was not eating, or I was like counting every single calorie. And then in college, I feel like I've always been so uncomfortable with my body that I've always just never really had a good relationship with food. And so I feel like now I'm more comfortable with my body, not even necessarily because it's different, just because I care less. And food is always, I just go back and forth because like I really do try to stay away from certain things, and I do like demonize certain foods in ways that I probably shouldn't, but I still also kind of eat whatever I want, but then I also like don't, or I'll like shame myself for it or feel really guilty. But I feel like it's less about what I'm eating and more just about like how I'm feeling. And if I feel like gross just because I've eaten too much, I just like shame myself. But also like sometimes I should, because I eat too much sometimes. I just think it's hard for everyone. And I keep seeing these posts on Instagram that a lot of fitness influencers' advice is just them giving advice on their own disordered eating.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, I guess maybe a lot of fitness influencers that does stem from their own toxic issues with food and exercise.
Yeah.
And no one really has the answers. So I don't know. I just think that's so tricky. The balance between...
It is really, really tricky because everyone is different. And so, like, especially for someone like me who loves food and I do a lot of food content, I try to be mindful of, like, I don't ever want to make it seem like I have any one certain diet just because, like, being in the position that I am, I know that there's going to be someone out there who tries it.
Here's my thing. I feel like in the world that we grew up in, eating like fast food or low quality food, I feel like was so normal that whenever I would choose to eat a salad, people would like make fun of me for it. And so I feel like there's also, especially where we come from, so much shame around like trying to eat healthy or trying to like not just trying to care, I guess. And so that's what triggers me, because I'm like, no, I'm gonna show people like, oh, here's a healthy recipe, or here, like, I like to use stevia or almond milk or something, because I feel like back home people be like, oh, you're using almond milk, you think you're fat?
This is what I attribute that to, is the kind of this going back to the idea of like food insecurity, and that a lot of places, especially like where we're from, there's not a lot of access to like healthier foods, and so healthy food is more considered like for the rich. And I think a lot of people, especially coming from like our town, who a lot of people are poor, resent that. And so I think it's more of like oh, you think you're better than me mentality, because like I didn't grow up eating that because I didn't have access to it. And so I don't think that it's necessarily like geared towards you. I think it's a lot of misplaced, but I understand their thought process.
I think it's difficult for people when they're consuming media, because it feels like it's either not for them or they, like you said, don't have access to it. So I just personally, I like to be a resource, because I feel like everyone knows how to eat poorly, or not even poorly. Everyone just knows how to eat like basic butter, sugar, meat, whatever from fast food. So I feel like if I can be someone that was from that community who kind of like broke out, and I still eat all of those things, I'm just like,
oh, don't get it twisted. I love Arby's.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, a Crunchwrap Supreme, and I will sit on
Wendy's
it.
spicy chicken sandwich.
I just feel like
it is good.
It's delicious.
It's delicious.
I just feel like maybe I could be a better resource for people.
Yeah, it's finding that balance of like, okay, this is what real life is, and here are some new ideas and maybe some like different like perspectives that you haven't heard before. So I think that's a good way to be like an influencer in this space, instead of like, you know, trying to be this like level of like health that is like unachievable in a relatable sense.
Yeah. I feel like too, the best advice I've gotten is listen to your body. And it sounds so silly, but like the way I feel when I don't exercise and when I do eat poorly that's what drives me to
Same.
Exercise and to eat well.
That's literally the only thing, because I don't love working out.
That's the hardest. Food's easier for me to be
Food's easier for me too.
And I also have no taste buds.
You do not have taste buds.
I am easily fooled.
Also, something is that, especially with like being vegan for 3 years and like being super hyper aware of how things make me feel, I do have a lot of food sensitivity. like a lot of food sensitivity. And so that honestly drives my diet more than anything.
Yeah. I remember when you went vegan, you like felt just bloated all the time.
Yeah. So that's, I think listening to your body is like the number one thing, and like trying to figure out like what you should eat. And that'll then it's kind of just like done for you. Because obviously you don't want to like go walking around with like a stomach ache.
Yeah.
Which was me a lot of the time. And if I eat anything like new or something, like my body's like, no.
I live a different life than you. All right. Did we answer your question?
Lie to myself. Like if I said I was going to do something, I did.
So join a clubhouse.
Oh God.
My biggest fear is just to join and then pull me on stage. Be like, so what are your thoughts?
That's like, they shouldn't do that. That's like being called on in class.
Everyone in a clubhouse, I swear to you, like wants to be teacher.
Yeah.
And like wants to be like, they're the kids who like love to talk. And I'm just like, I aspire. Someone tweeted, they said, I aspire to have the level of someone who's speaking in a club. The confidence of someone who's speaking.
It's the confidence for me.
Okay, Haley, I'm a doctor. I think I'm really cool with my patients. Why don't you trust our community of doctors?
It's not you, it's me. It is not you, it's me. I don't know what, it's not the doctor. When the doctor gets in there, it's like fine. It's like everything leading up to it, and also not knowing the questions to ask. Like the whole environment.
Stress about that.
Yeah, the whole environment kind of like gives me anxiety. The phone call that you have to make to, like, if I can't schedule online, I probably won't go. I need it to be scheduled online. I don't understand insurance that well.
I don't think anyone understands insurance.
Now I think that I have a better grasp, so I feel a little bit more comfortable, but it's still like, I don't know what's covered. Like I'm scared to ask how much it's going to be, but like you should always ask like up front, like how much is this going to be before you do it. And like there's something, it's like when I'm outside of a doctor's office, like I can do anything. But the minute that I have to make an appointment, like I am just like a scared little girl. And that gives me anxiety too. The fact that I have anxiety about it. So I'm like, what is wrong with me? And then I spiral. And then by the time like, I'm just like, you know what? If this kills me, then that's what's meant to happen.
Are you sure you should have quit therapy?
That is unfixable. It's unfixable.
I mean, I don't have that level of anxiety around doctors.
No, you don't.
I honestly view them as my best friends.
You're friends with all your doctors.
With
all of them. You have a team of doctors.
I'm just such a hypochondriac that I'm like, listen, I need you and you and you. This is what's going on.
Yeah.
And I'm just hypersensitive with my body, so I think I'm anxious for another reason. I ask too many questions, I feel like.
Yeah.
Every time I go to the doctor, I have just debilitating white coat syndrome, and my anxiety shoots through the roof, and my blood pressure every single time is hospitalizable. Ever since 2014, every time I've gone to the doctor, they've asked me if this is normal, if they need to call a doctor. And I mean, I stay 175 over 80. I would say my bottom number is always great. My top number is always scary high.
Yeah.
Oh, I talk about this forever.
Yeah.
So they had me start monitoring at home. And I'm good. Let's talk about, well, all of y'all's mental health. My lie stuff.
Huh?
That's the person's name. My lie stuff. Yeah. How's your mental health?
My mental health?
Yeah.
My heart just sank. I'm fine.
Therapy.
I don't know. Okay.
I don't think she's able to answer that question. So I'll answer that.
You know what? No. I am better than I'm not as bad as I've been. Like I've hit the bottom. So it's only up from there. I've already hit the bottom. So I'm on my way up.
It's just so funny because I feel like when you are at bottom, like nobody knows.
No, you would have no idea.
No one has any idea.
I don't.
You're just the least transparent
Yes.
with your emotions.
Right.
How do you do it?
I don't recommend it. It's a.
I just feel like you go home and you take your face off and you cry.
Yes. That's exactly what happens. How about you?
You know what? It's back and forth, man. I feel like I just have been getting sad lately because I feel like with the year anniversary of the pandemic coming up, it's just sad.
It is sad.
Thinking about this is still our lives. I'm just sad that people in like other parts of the country even are still acting like there's not a pandemic. I'm angry that it's still happening and that people still don't care. I don't know what I want. I'm also anxious more so because like now that we are like there are being vaccines and there are more social interactions, I feel like I've forgotten how to interact with people and that gives me anxiety to feel like I have to learn how to be a person again.
Yeah.
And I just feel like I've lost a lot of my confidence this year because I feel like I feel like at least for me like social interaction helps my confidence when I have to keep doing it over and over even though it's hard. And so I feel like
it's not my confidence. The more I have to interact with someone, the more my confidence goes down.
It's just I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm starting over again and I've just
reset.
Yeah, and with the whole Clubhouse thing coming up, I think that's triggered my anxiety because I've been having to do some Clubhouses and it's just I feel so unconfident and so like an imposter lately, and I don't know why. But I mean,
imposter syndrome is real, and it is what is the word I'm trying to think of? Like when a lot of people have it. Oh my god, my brain is empty. Common. But I think that obviously like a debilitating amount will debilitate you.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a little bit of it is healthy in the sense that it always strives you to keep learning.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel that all the time. All the time. But and that's without having to, like be in a room with a bunch of incredibly successful creators. So I could only imagine. But I mean, at the same time, your knowledge in the industry doesn't, even though you have a lot of knowledge in the industry, whether or not you do, doesn't define like your worth or like make you less successful.
Yeah.
Because also, no one is doing what we're doing.
That's true.
Not a one person, and not one person has to deal with music the way that we do. Oof. And so if yeah, sure, like they can know how to get great engagement, but like, do they know the inner workings of music labels?
I wish I didn't. Okay, well, settled. We're okay. Worst first date experiences.
Do I have a first date experience? I don't remember any first dates I've ever had. I truly don't.
Yeah, one reason. Well, I'm going to talk about mine.
Okay.
Dear God. I have only had one, I think.
One first date?
Yeah. Well, no.
One bad one.
Yeah. So it was, it was my first date after the one relationship I had been in. Mm-hmm. And so I think I was at Ball State hanging out with you. And I was on Tinder and Grindr, but like...
Oh, it was when you were coming to my house like every weekend.
Yeah. And so I was on I was on the dating apps, but I didn't ever engage with anyone. I would like swipe, and if we matched, I'd be like,
and like run away. That's what I would do.
If it's real, then I can't, like, I'm not gonna meet you.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
You're crazy.
Thank you. You're right.
It felt so weird, and so I'd flirt a little bit, but if they ever wanted to meet, or if they ever like wanted to start sending pictures,
you're trying to kill me.
I was just like, how dare you? So I was obviously I felt like the only gay who was not using the social media apps to have sex like a rabbit. And I finally convinced myself just to go on this date. This guy seems nice. We met on, I think it was Tinder, and he lived in Lafayette. Mm-hmm. I think Lafayette. And
That's far.
It was far.
Did you go?
I did. I go. I went the distance. This is the problem with me. I either if I just like find the most random things to do and then I just go and I commit to it. Like I could have found someone around here. But no, I had to be in Lafayette. I had to go to Lafayette. So I drove my Kia Soul all the way to Lafayette from your house, and I think it was like winter. It was not good out. And I got there, I knocked on the door, and he opened it, and I just immediately felt
wrong.
Oh God, no! Like I don't like you. Like this isn't. I mean, like you're a nice guy. I just like I felt no attraction.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. And my worst fear of going into a first date is wasting my damn time.
Yeah.
And pretending to engage with someone who I know I'm never going to see again.
Right. I can't do it.
I don't know how single people do it.
I can't do that. I can't do it.
So I went in and...
It should be acceptable to just get up and leave and just be like, I don't want to waste either one of our times.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure, especially in adult situations, I'm sure it's more acceptable. But, like, we were obviously young 20-year-olds, and so I went into his apartment, and we were just, like, talking. I think he gave me a snack or something.
That was nice.
But then we were just, like chit-chatting a bit, and we, like, played Smash together. But, like, he, like, wanted to, like, kind of sit close to me and cuddle, and I was just like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna, like, beat your ass over here. And we just, like, literally played, like, 2 rounds. I swear to God, the date lasted 30 minutes.
You laughed.
And I was like, okay, like I really have to be getting home now. And I got up and he like went in to like give me a kiss and I like swerved and I gave him a hug. And I was like, oh, sorry, I'm just like gonna kiss him on the first date. And I just got in my car and I drove away.
You never talked to him again?
And it's not even like that was a terrible first date. It's just like, I don't ever want to feel that way again. I don't ever want to be in a room with someone and just be like,
never doing that.
If there were even a little butterfly, that would have been nice.
That would have been nice. Made it worth it.
It's just like in my mind, if you're not the one, then what am I doing?
Yeah.
I need to feel. I don't think I felt that with Cameron. I don't know. It was just that was awful, and I just don't recommend it.
This episode is brought to you by Wild. Wild, spelled W-Y-L-D, is an online art gallery based in Austin, Texas, exclusively dedicated to art created by Native American artists. The gallery is a labor of love by retired lawyer Ray Donnelly, who opened up an in-person gallery right before the pandemic. Due to COVID, he had to close down his gallery and move online.
Wild has everything from original art to print and posters. With Valentine's Day coming up, some cool original art would be a perfect and thoughtful gift. And you'd also be supporting local indigenous artists and a local business at the same time. So head to www.wild.gallery. Again, that's www.wyld.gallery to look through an extensive collection of art at different price points. And thank you again to Wild for sponsoring this episode.
And side note, I checked out the gallery and it's bomb.
Really?
It's bomb. Like, I'm like, should I get something? Like, it was very exciting.
Rachel Fisher asks...
Rachel!
Hey, Rachel.
My mom, hold on, side note about Rachel. My mom texted me and was like, make sure you wish Rachel a happy birthday. Because they're like friends.
That's so funny. Well, happy birthday, Rachel.
Yes, happy birthday.
She asks, the reality show, would you ever make another one, and how did it affect/impact your lives?
I would make another one. But it would have to be the right time. Mm-hmm. And it would have... I just feel like, yeah, I would do it, but I would do it differently.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I agree. Cameron and I were just talking yesterday, and he was like, I really want to do a show of some sort again. I don't know if reality is the way for us to go, mm-hmm. Especially when I feel like the vlogging isn't that successful. I just don't know if that's like what is our interesting niche in this world, but I feel like the reality show kind of brought out the worst in all of us.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. I don't think that it represented us in the best light, because at the end of the day, we're watching reality TV to be shocked and entertained and for there to be drama. Yeah. And I don't think that's inherently good for us.
Yeah, number one, I don't think it was good for us as friends.
No.
Then it's not good for us in business. Mm-hmm. And so, like, because you have to have that, like, shock and awe, like, you have to get into fights, and I don't want to fight.
Yeah. Oh God.
I don't want to fight with my friends. And
especially on camera.
Especially on camera. Like, we are actually friends in real life, and it bled into our real life, and it was like very high.
It created lots of separation.
A lot of separation, a lot of things that I'm first of all too old to be doing that.
It's just, it's too real. And so the lines between like storyline get blurred. And now if it's a silly storyline, like we were doing, like, okay, let's find Bria a date.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's clearly we're all playing a character here.
And that's fun.
But when it's like, let's rehash your fight you had on the road.
Yeah.
That's where it was too real. And then we were having like makeup like scenes to like resolve the conflict when like the conflict wasn't resolved. And like,
right, like we were still fighting.
And like they had to literally dub in like like I'm sorry's because they weren't said. Or like I forgive yous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just I personally, and I know you might feel differently. You know what? I don't even need to say that. I would do it again, but maybe in a different way. I think a Queer Eye type thing, or just like us doing good or making people feel good is more our lane.
Yeah.
Than us having catfights.
Yeah.
So we do enough of that.
Right.
But like, it's just not productive business wise.
No.
So yeah, so Rachel, but if you wanted to get us a show or something, we'll do it. Someone said a spicy love life / sex life episode, and I just texted Haley about this yesterday. So if you guys want us to talk about sex because we're grown ass adults,
Caleb's having like a revolution. He's having like a sexual awakening.
I'm having an awakening because I have just been repressed for so long. You know what? We'll talk about it on the episode.
All right.
There's lots to unpack.
Oh God.
I am a woman, hear me roar. Thoughts on weed. So many influencers find this taboo, so I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Rachel Young 99.
I actually just talked about this.
Rachel, if you were born in 99, you are young.
She's 22.
I'm sorry. Keep talking.
Caleb's pulling back his face for our listeners. I just talked about this on my vlog that I just did because someone asked me the same question. And I feel like it is taboo for influencers to talk about. I think especially for fitness influencers to talk about, which is why I feel like I've never talked about it. But I did in my vlog because I'm tired of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm tired of it. First of all, where I live currently, it is very legal. Mm-hmm. It is very normal. And yeah, I do be smoking that weed.
It's so funny because I forget that it's still illegal.
In other places, which is so ridiculous. But I think it's like 30 states now?
Really? Wow.
Yeah. I don't know if that's all like recreational. But everyone has a medical marijuana card if not.
I'm so happy that it's being legalized so that people can stop demonizing it and looking down on others. I'm so tired of people who are like uptight or just like view drugs and alcohol and all that as just like awful things. It's just a less of a reason for them to demonize them and be like, you're doing a Schedule 1 drug. Like, you're a criminal. Like, literally, no, fuck off. Oh my God. Like, I'm not here telling everyone to go out and smoke and drink all day. Like, yes, drugs and alcohol can ruin your life. So can a lot of things.
Yeah.
But if you're an adult and you're doing something responsibly and safely and for whatever damn reason you're doing it because you're an adult, then do it. Like, it is I'm having an awakening. I'm tired of it. I am so tired of it.
I get it.
This is what happens when I have for the podcast after therapy.
Yeah, so I do smoke weed or whatever. I consume weed in various amounts of ways. But mostly I just do it like at the end of the day I go to beddy bye, and it helps me sleep. It really does help me relax and just go to bed. I don't wake up and not that there's anything wrong with that, but I can't personally be out and about while I'm high. Mm-hmm. I just like to be alone in bed.
Yeah. I think a lot of people do that just to go to sleep.
Yeah. It's just like a melatonin.
That. Yeah. Oh gosh. I had the best sleep when I smoked That's the one thing I miss about not smoking is just, oh my gosh.
Yeah, Caleb doesn't smoke anymore, but he used to.
Yeah, it's not good for my anxiety, but I don't I give other people, I almost said it's a friend of ours who probably doesn't want people knowing they smoke. I give you guys shit about it, but I don't have a problem with it. I used to do it, and I would 1,000% still smoke if it didn't give me anxiety.
Yeah.
And I do, however, I've been taking CBD for 2 years, and it's so weird because I thought it was just a placebo effect. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm sure I'm spending stupid amounts of money on this for no reason. And then when we were in St. Croix in November, I ran out of it for 2 days. And I shit you not, I'm cussing a lot today too. I am on a rampage.
You're rated R today.
I am an adult. I am a damn adult. What's it called? I ran out of it for a few days, and I got so anxious.
Yeah.
And not even just anxious, my heart rate was consistently high.
Yeah.
And once I got back on it, everything regulated. So I don't know if it's still placebo and I just got anxiety because I didn't have it. But I'm like, you sold me.
You got me.
You got me for life. But yeah, obviously it's still new and there's lots of research and people haven't been allowed to study it because it's been a Schedule I drug, which is so harmful. We should have been studying it for decades, but I'm sure there is going to be some research that comes out and we don't know everything about it, but I don't think it should be illegal or it's stigmatized in the way it is. Dear Lord.
Yeah.
There's other things to worry about. There's climate change, there's racism, there's misogyny,
And it's crazy to me that it's legal now in so many states, and there's still so many people in those states who are incarcerated for weed, for having even just small amounts of weed on their person, in their car. It's insane.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's
And the way
disgusting.
that those people will say that they deserve it because they were doing drugs.
Yeah.
That's
it's a whole
that's saying
systemic
someone
issue.
deserves to be in jail because they drank coffee because it's
Yeah.
a drug. Coffee's a drug.
Coffee's a drug, and I'm addicted.
Me too. If you want to talk about that, let's talk about that.
I'm like.
Drugs are good. Do you have any desire to address anything involving your personal life?
No.
There are lots of questions.
I know there are, and
Okay.
I know I do not.
Michaela Lahinsey? Oh, Michaela Hinsey. Music industry and pop culture. Is there anything fun music industry wise?
So Taylor Swift. Oh, you watched Philip?
Yeah.
Yesterday.
No, not yesterday.
Oh well, not Philip. Taylor Swift got sued by this amusement park called Evermore Park. And they were people are getting confused, and you took our name, and people are their merchandise is getting confused, and apparently it's a theme park centered around dragons and whatever, and the lawyer sent them a thing and said this is a baseless claim, we're not selling dragon keychains. That's literally what it said.
I mean, the amusement park is called Evermore, not Kings Island. I think that it's a pretty common.
Yeah. That's all I have.
That is fun. You know what? People, the bigger you get, the more stupid lawsuits you'll get.
She was this is dumb.
I don't think there's any big artist or company who doesn't have some kind of lawsuit happening.
Oh, at all times.
At any given time.
At all times.
Oh my gosh. That's the one thing I hate about this industry.
Yeah.
More money, more problems. All right. Let's talk about. This one said Free Britney.
Okay.
Exciting because this Friday, which
you said that in the last one, but continue.
But yeah, we're gonna go into it because it's a question.
You never said what time we're gonna watch it. I've been asking 4 days.
Okay, so it comes out at 10 p.m. I don't know. I don't know if that's 10 p.m. Eastern or Pacific.
Well, you better figure it out.
Well, I have been trying.
Because I got a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah, well,
I do.
that are more important.
Yeah, I do.
Cancel it. So anyway, back to more important things. There is a documentary on Netflix. No, Hulu and FX. That is coming out on Friday, which would be last Friday because this comes out on Monday. Called Framing Britney Spears, and it's by the New York Times, which is huge because the New York Times actually has a good reputation.
Yeah.
Generally, right?
Yeah.
And they're doing interviews with Britney's old assistant who was on every single tour with her, has known her since she was 5 years old, and has worked with her through the Piece of Me tour in 2016. And they interviewed her lawyer that she tried to hire in 2007 when she had the conservatorship.
Yeah, continue.
Okay. Adam Streisand is the lawyer she tried to hire, and she wasn't allowed to hire him because they said she was too incompetent to. Ugh. So now he's speaking out, and then other like people in the Free Britney movement, other people who've worked with her, and it's fascinating because I can't believe, I'm sure these people all have NDAs. Mm-hmm. So it's confusing how they're doing it. I don't know if Britney's team is like also in on this, but also it's very anti Britney's father. Mm-hmm. And it's going through like how she has been in a cage for 13 years.
Yeah.
And can't make any decisions for herself. And so I'm really interested to see how it plays out.
Like legally?
Yeah.
I wonder if it's like the New York Times, because like they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they're just like,
We're doing it,
and like maybe kind of like if something happens, like we'll protect you.
I wonder. That's because also like
sometimes they just go for it.
This whole past 2 weeks, TMZ and like literally a bunch, as all of the reviews of like the publications who have gotten early access to this documentary have been coming out. Mm-hmm. The media has been flooded with headlines of like Britney Spears dancing with dark makeup to Justin Timberlake. Britney Spears looks unhinged. So it's literally Britney's team feeding all of these stories like she's crazy, she's crazy, she's crazy. And she's not controlling her social media. She's not doing the posts. So it's just interesting how calculated Britney's family has been in making her seem crazier as this documentary is about to come out.
Yeah.
Which has been what they've done the whole time, is make her seem crazy so they can keep her in this.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see this documentary. Anyway, Framing Britney Spears on Hulu and Netflix.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting watch.
It's a movie, I think.
A movie?
Yeah, I think it's a film.
What is your recommendation, Kebab?
My recommendation for the week is...
Yeah? Yeah?
Is color grading in HDR.
That is your recommendation?
You know what?
Or is that your intention?
That is... Damn. That's good. My recommendation... I'm like looking in the right room. You know what I do love? I love me some Spindrift.
No, this is not an ad. Stop. Yeah, how do you not know?
Haley, I don't have anything to recommend.
You watch like 16 different shows a day.
I'm still on Shameless. We're on season 10 now.
There's 10 seasons of Shameless.
11.
11?
Yes, 11's airing right now.
That's a lot of seasons.
Do you have a recommendation?
Yeah, I do.
Then say it.
The Patriot Act on Netflix. I love him and I love his show. And he just goes through like different, very controversial, kind of political, mostly political, but not always political topics. And he literally has gotten into fights with like world leaders over like the content. And he just like doesn't give a fuck. He's also a comedian. And so like my favorite thing is like political humor and like commentary, like funny commentary on like political issues. That's actually my favorite thing.
I know it is.
Like, I think that, I don't know, it's just so funny to me. And so, like, while it's educational and it's important, it's also funny. Mm-hmm. And he just covers, like, the widest range of topics. And every single episode is, like, a deep dive into, like, whatever topic. And a lot of it is, like, new information to me. I'm like, wait, what? Mm-hmm. Like, this is, like, happening? Or a different take on something that I hadn't thought before. And so, it's...
You have Ariana Grande hands.
I don't know. It's very good. And I feel like I'm like late because like I've been hearing people talk about this show for a long time and I don't know why it got canceled.
I know people are upset that it got canceled. That's why I heard about it.
Yeah, and I think I don't know, like he is very controversial. Like he has put out some very controversial comments. So but I love it.
Interesting.
You should watch it. And you know what? Something I want to bring up to you is the fact that you always bitch at me for never taking your recommendations, but you never take a one of mine.
You also
not one. You have nothing to say
because
you have nothing to say. And sometimes I actually take your recommendations, but you know what? I'm done.
You know what? It's like the cat meme. So
I will not watch the morning show until you just at least do one of my recommendations.
First of all, if you're gonna point at me, use your finger, not your sweatshirt.
One.
Second of all,
AOC.
Second of all,
exactly.
My point is, I only consume content at night when I'm relaxing. Okay,
I do too.
Okay, so I'm not gonna consume like high stakes content at night. That's like political.
You are just reading too much. It's still leisurely watching.
It's not leisurely watching.
You're thinking too much into it. You don't have to be watch like something mind numbing to like relax. So sometimes you
Shameless is anything but mind numbing.
Okay, if that's the case, then you can watch something like the Patriot Act at night and be fine.
It's just like that's not how I want to end my day. It's like learning. I don't want to learn at the end of the day at all. Do not teach me at the end of the day. No.
Then when?
If not now, then when?
Then when?
During lunch. And you know who does that? Philip DeFranco.
You need to get news from more than Philip DeFranco.
I don't consume content other than breakfast and night.
Then I will never take in one of your recommendations. I will never finish the morning show.
And that's your loss. That's your loss.
All right.
Well, I don't want to
hear it. I do not want to hear it. I do not want to hear it.
You're only punishing yourself.
I'm not. You're punishing yourself. You're punishing yourself.
You know what?
By being ignorant.
You think I'm ignorant? We gotta go.
What's your intention? You never had a recommendation. You never had a recommendation.
I have. You know what?
We're running out of time on the card.
I just can't think of a single thing to recommend. A single thing. You know what? I will recommend something.
You will.
Zoe Wees. I don't know how to say your last name. Wees. She is a wonderful new artist. She has a song called Control that she wrote about anxiety and her like epilepsy when she was a child, and it made me sob both times, or the first 2 times I heard it. And then she just released a new song. I don't even know what it's called, but I just love her voice so much. So look up Zoe. That's Zoewees.
Cute.
On Spotify.
What's your intention for the week?
To learn how to color grade an HDR better because it's a nightmare. And I've worked on the business for, I'm not kidding you, 10 hours yesterday on and got nothing done.
Oh no.
It sucks. And it's not worth it.
I'm glad you
But here I am. Coffee.
No, I didn't. You were supposed to ask me my intention. You are so self-centered.
What is your intention?
No.
What do you intend to do this week, Kaylee?
So last week my intention was to get organized, and I meant in like the apartment sense, but I actually ended up getting organized in like my life. And so like I made a schedule for myself.
You did. And
I feel more productive, but in a way that I want to die because like now I'm doing too much. But it has been super helpful, so I just want to keep doing it. And that's my intention, is just to keep organized like my schedule, because I'm balancing a lot of different things right now, and it's the only way I think I'm going to be able to stay sane.
That's good. Wow, that was a good intention.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe I'll try to write one down before.
Maybe you will.
This is why we don't need a reality show. Coffee. Coffee. What do I do? Coffee. Coffee with my ex.
Whatever. That was wrong.
I lost it. Coffee. Coffee with my ex. Coffee. Coffee. Coffee.
Okay, coffee doesn't seem like a real word anymore.
Coffee with my ex.